I'm really super keen to give that a spin and absolutely clobbered it. Sitting right there like that. Oh, there's some jacks in there. Take and drag. Release him back and see if we can get another one. Good morning. Well, the barra season's closed, so it's time to get serious chasing some red dogs, doing some skip casting and maybe pitching to some outer snags. And I'm going to go through a couple of little things this morning while I get started. Mainly around fishing the outgoing tide. I prefer the incoming tide for mangrove jack. We've got a couple of hours of the outgoing tide. It's already fallen quite a bit because it's a fairly low tide. So I'm going to go through how I might approach that a little bit differently. The incoming is definitely my favourite, but there's no reason you can't get a few red dogs on the outgoing, and I'm expecting this morning to pick up a few, so cross fingers. What I also wanted to go through is I've got a couple of soft plastics from Hunter-Gatherer Customs. In talking to Pete about a few, in particular his live craw, so I've got that in a couple of different colours, so I'm really super keen to give that a spin. I've got a sinker on there at the start just to start with, but I'm considering maybe taking it off and going more top water, I guess. And I've also got his 4-inch enforcer, so that's one I've only just recently picked up, so I'm going to give that a spin too. And you might notice I've got the enforcer on a BKK Chimera, which I chin wire in, so bridle in, whereas the live craw I've got on a twist lock setup. So I'm going to just give them a spin. This traditionally what I would use is the BKK with that bent neck design, but I want to give that a spin. The main reason being is that the gap, the clearance between the eye and the point is further with these, and I want to just see if that makes a difference compared to the gap that's closer. So you imagine a fish, mangrove jack, are biting down on that, so the bite area is I guess wider on that one there. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm keen to give them a run either way. So let's get into it. All right. So while I'm flicking this edge, I just want to have a chat about a couple of things that I'll take into consideration depending on whether I'm fishing an incoming or outgoing tide. So as I said a little earlier, the incoming is my favourite time for jacks. So if it was barra season, I'm probably chasing barra on the outgoing and then jacks on the incoming. Don't have that option now, the barra season's closed. So the first thing I look at is where the pressure points are. So on the outgoing tide, the water's going to be hitting different areas of structure. Tide's in completely different direction. So, it makes sense that what were pressure points that were holding jacks previously on an incoming tide, when it turns and heads out, they no longer are holding those fish, or those fish are sitting in different parts or different areas of that structure. So important to remember. So the principles are the same. Jacks love a good pressure point, a good bit of structure where water's pushing onto it. So whether it's incoming or outgoing, that's not going to change. What will change is where that pressure point is, either on that snag or within that system. So the next thing that I always take into consideration is the stage of the tide and where those fish might be sitting while they're feeding. So mangrove jack, being a structure lover, even though we do find them out in open water, they are ambush predators and they do like structure. So what you need to consider is where are they going to be in relation to that tide, focusing on where that bait is going to be moving through. That food source for them and where they can position themselves to pick off an easier feed. What typically happens is the fish are going to be up in those mangroves, then they're going to drop back to the fringes, then they're going to drop back to this sort of structure, and then there's a snake drain through there. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick it up, but they'll drop back to these snake drains, and they'll move there as quickly as they can within reason to feed on the bait before it comes out, or as it's coming out. So they want to be there before it comes out. On the flip side, with the outgoing tide, those fish are going to move into those snake drains and wallows first, as the bait are still out in slightly deeper water. Then after that, they're going to move up into those outer snags, and then the fringes, and then up on the mangroves. And timing will be slightly different, obviously, because it's, you know, the stage of tide. So you might have to get into a place, you know, earlier in the outgoing or incoming, depending on where it is. So, you know, on an incoming tide, you're going to be fishing from deeper water into the shallows and into the fringes, and then, you know, they're going up in the mangroves. With the outgoing, they're going to be starting in those mangroves. So you're going to hit them on the fringes first, then you're going to find those outer snags, and then you're going to hit the snake drains and the deeper water. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope that I can put it into practice and get a couple of jacks today. I'm just fishing a fringe here, which is out in the main part of the system with a little bit of breeze blowing on it and a bit of structure, which I'm hoping the jacks will be holding on before they move out through the snake drains. I'm hoping they're already moving into the fringes, and then just starting this outer structure. I will see if I can, as I said, put that into practice. Oh, they were in, there's one in there, but I think I've already spooked them. They were sitting out further. That was my mistake. Oh, there was a little one ready to play. So, look, rookie error there. I assumed that they were still up in the tight up at the head on the fringes there, when actually fact they were out on the outer part of that snag, and I got too close. So too much waffling on to explain how I do it and not actually doing it myself. So see if we can find a few more snags and a few more fish. I'm just circling back around because I thought I caught a glimpse of a few of them moving back to or still sitting in that snag. So I'm just going to creep by, and I might have spooked them too much, but we're about to find out. Get over. Oh, what about, oh. That's not what I wanted. All right, there you go. Obviously, I mentioned before, barra season's closed, so it's not what I wanted. I was hoping for a mangrove jack. Anyway, it's a start. Well, my apology, but I was talking through how I'd swapped to the enforcer from the live craw after getting the barra, and this mangrove jack jump on. It's bad enough when the battery cuts out just before you get a hit, whether you realise it or not, but when you forget to turn on the camera, it hurts even more. And I'm only about 4 or 5 casts in, talking about it, how it's got a little bit of a roll to it and a really nice paddle tail action. And this jack travelled about 3 metres in some snags and absolutely clobbered it. Hopefully I can capture some more actual takes for you, because it's something that I enjoy watching, and I hope you enjoy watching too. Just a smidgen under 40, couple of mil. So we'll release him back and see if we can get another one on film this time. Yeah, so as I was saying, while the camera wasn't rolling, before I got that jack, was this enforcer's got just a slight roll, which I think in barra season might be worthwhile. It's not a lot, it's just a little. It doesn't have a big wiggle to it, but it's got a really nice paddle tail action. So I think for mangrove jack it is really well suited, but it'll also produce a few barra. Oh, that was a little jack. He wasn't very big, but he was red. It looks like some of the fish are starting to move out into that deeper water. There's something sitting in there. Oh, it looks like a, might be a jack. Or, oh no, what was that? Oh no, it's a couple of rat barra. They're just about the size of a nice jack, so I'm happy to miss them. But I saw one sitting in there, and it sort of, it was about 38, 40 centimetres, around that 40 centimetre mark anyway. I thought it might have been a jack sitting in there. Hopefully, so I run it past that edge, there might be one sitting right there like that, but no, it's another rat barra. And there goes a jack. Got the one I didn't want to get. He just took first option, unfortunately, and the jack took off. We'll just quickly get this guy off. This might be a bit of a problem today, but that's all right. We'll get him in as quickly as we can and get back into it. All right, we haven't got much time till the bottom of the tide. I'm going to go for a bit of an explore, which I enjoy doing, and then I'm going to come back on the incoming tide and do things in reverse, as I sort of explained at the start of the video. And I'm going to use this, the enforcer, but I'm also going to use the live craw in a slightly different way, and I'll explain that probably in another hour or so, hour and a half. All right, tide is just starting to make its way back in. I've finished my exploring, and this is what I'm going to do. So I've got a white in the live craw, and I'm going to flick it in with no sinker. So a little bit of top water, it'll be a mix of top water, surface. So we'll see if we can entice a jack. That it will sink slowly. So if I want it to get down a bit, and I just need a little bit of patience, just wait a little bit and then work it out. Hopefully I can pick up a red dog in here somewhere. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Come on, jump off. Lure's working, but I'm the wrong species at the moment. Don't go back in there. Come back out. Doesn't look like he's going to jump off. I might have to bring him on board, but he certainly liked that. Live craw in what Pete says is, well, it's like a glowing white, but they refer to it as milky monkey's milk. So strange name, but look, didn't take long to get first fish. I think I'm going to have to net him. I'm worried about breaking everything off. Right. No, I think I'll be right. I think it's frayed. Oh, there we go, gone. Oh, and he took me claws. Buggering. All right, I actually don't have any more in this colour, but I do have it in the original colour I was showing this morning, plus some green like motor oils patterns. So I might put that on. That's a shame. I wanted to give that one a bit more of a run, but anyway, all good. I'm gonna go with one of these red craw, live craws. Got a couple of little rat jacks come out and have a hit, but didn't have a real good crack on the motor oil, so I'm gonna swap him over. Different colour, maybe closer to the mangrove crabs that we're seeing, and see if they'll have a convincing go. Oh, there's some jacks in there. There's two of them. Oh, Still can't sink the hooks into one on film. Keep going. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a good one too. Take and drag. Oh, he's a nice jack. He's a good jack. I'll get him away from the snag. I'm sure he was one of the ones that I saw in the first cast. Get him away from that snag. Take a closer look.